What's going on, guys? Zach here, and I'm coming at you with the undergroundbizjournal.com. That's the Strength Coach Business Journal, and I'm answering a question that came up on my Instagram from another strength coach, and he said, both of your underground strength gyms seem like they are extremely successful. What is, I can't remember the exact question, but it was something to the effect of, what's your best marketing tip that you could give? I get this question all the time, and the answer that is from the heart is, my best marketing tip is to genuinely care. I find myself, and I had this conversation today with Matt Reynolds Strong, very smart businessman, as I said, man, I find myself caring more than the parents of the kid, caring more than the coaches of the kid, more than the school of where the kid goes to school and his coaches. And I care so much that is the foundation. It spurs me to go and take the efforts to find ways to connect with these kids because I want to see them succeed so badly. So it's not this Instagram tactic, this keyword search engine optimization tactic. It's not any of that stuff. It is the caring. And because I care so much, every day I'm getting better as a strength coach. I'm getting better as a coach. So I'm learning how to communicate better. I'm learning how to make them better, not just stronger, faster, tougher, but teaching them and coaching them and mentoring them to be better at life. In turn, that gives me athletes who tend to stick with me more. But I want to give you the flip side to that coin. We do have plenty of times where the gym is quiet, where there's not 5, 10, 20 kids. Sometimes there's 1 or 2 kids in a group. Sometimes the fall is very busy and the winter with not a lot of wrestlers is not so busy. It's always kind of this flux, this always change with athletes. It's not like running boot camps where they're more consistent. Athletes will come and go. I've helped athletes go from skinny, weak, and sitting the bench to being on varsity, gaining 45 pounds in a year, and then the father will come to me and say, Johnny can't train with you anymore. His coach said he's got to train with him. And it's like, really? You're not even going to say, hey, the reason why my son is doing great is because of what they've done at the Underground Strength Gym. I need my son to be with an expert. Want to know what? 99.9% of the time, they just let it slide. It's very tough to be a strength coach, to be successful because of all these external factors. Kids don't understand the expertise of me compared to the knowledge of, Coach Smith, the football coach who's running the weight room. They think it's all the same. 30 kids deadlifting with round backs, doing quarter squats. They think that is the same as the standard of excellence I'm holding at the Underground Strength Gym. So there's a lot of tough sides to being a strength coach. I'm going to say this. If you are having a hard time filling up with athletes, number 1, start caring more, hold a higher standard of excellence, get better at providing awesome results. Number 2, it's very hard to get across to people. They don't spend time looking at websites. People don't use Google like they used to. They might be on Facebook. They might be on Instagram. They might be here, there, or they might be tired of all that and not there. So I found that if you could put your spot in a place that gets targeted foot traffic, where you're in front of the right people very often, versus the common thing that I used to say is it was okay to be hidden in the back in that warehouse space. But it's much harder because parents nowadays will go to Coach John Smith, who's $50 cheaper and 5 minutes closer, but sucks. But you want to know what? He's closer and cheaper, and little Johnny said he got a great workout, and mom and dad are like, well, screw that Zach Ebnish guy. We're going here. Closer, cheaper, and little Johnny got a great workout. People just don't know the difference between good, great, and the highest standard of excellence. So get in front of the right people. Put yourself in a place that maybe is not a warehouse space, that is better with traffic and better targeting in front of the right people. And location does matter. I have a friend who's got a kid at a private school, and he said the difference between your gym and my kid going to private school, he goes, every parent here is 100% involved. So the bottom line is I'm rethinking my strategies of location, the fact that there's a huge influx of people that call themselves coaches that aren't coaches. And I know I'm ranting here, but yes, the foundation is caring, but being awesome at what you do and being a great strength coach, technically as well as from the heart, I hate to break it to everybody, but unfortunately, it's just not enough nowadays. A lot of people are going with cheaper, closer to home, so we've got to find other angles, because the ultimate reason for being a strength coach is to change the lives of athletes, and we don't get to go back because there's no flux capacitor to go back in time, meaning if they spent time with a crappy coach who doesn't have a high standard of excellence, that year or those 6 months or whatever it was is lost. And now we've got to speed up the entire process, and it's just different. So care, and don't ever settle for good enough. Not good enough with your own skills. Make a great location and just be great on everything, because all these little things that you start taking away from excellence, they hold you back from the big picture, which is the changing the lives of athletes. So, marketing, there's 1,000,001 ways to do marketing. For me, the best thing I prefer to do is to showcase our results. But like I said, people, their attention spans are not where we think they are, or as long as we think they are. So there's a lot more to it than just being a great strength coach. This is why we often see highly skilled strength coaches, guys that could be training professional athletes, should be or do train professional athletes, but they can't run a business because they don't understand these simple things, or they don't accept them. So you got to accept them and just kick ass and take names with it, even if you don't agree with the fact that you might need to move towards a storefront instead of in a hidden warehouse. A lot of unique things. A couple things I want you to read. On Elite FTS, J.L. Holdsworth wrote an article about, are you a sellout strength coach? Spoke about using some of those buzzwords that we're always afraid to use, like core training, speed and agility training. Listen to Matt Reynolds on the Barbell Shrug podcast. A lot of insight. That's a great podcast. And subscribe to the newsletter at the links below, the Strength Coach newsletter. And hope to see you, since you're a local guy asking about this, at an underground strength coach certification. You are only as good as what you are today, not what was yesterday. Get better every day. Peace, guys.